2004, unprecedented and unforgettable. 6 weeks of tropical torment. 4 hurricanes slammed the state one after another, killing 117, costing $42 billion. And forecasters say we're in for another active hurricane season. It just doesn't take that much to get our attention these days when people start talking hurricanes, does it? After all, the deadliest and costliest Atlantic hurricane season on record was just 1 year ago. Florida's devastating string of hurricanes this season started with Charley on August 13th, a Category 4 storm that hit Florida's Gulf Coast. Hurricane Frances hit the state from the other side on September 5th with Category 2 winds. Then Hurricane Ivan, a Category 3 storm, caused extensive damage in the Florida Panhandle. That same month, Hurricane Jeanne made landfall in almost the exact same area as Frances, with Category 3 force winds, later becoming a tropical storm as it passed through the state. Photojournalist Joe Vasquez and I rode out Hurricanes Charley, Frances, and Jeanne. It was an amazing and frightening experience at times, but even now, looking back at so many storms in such a short time frame, seems a bit surreal. We're expecting at least Category 1 winds by midnight, maybe 1 o'clock.
Oh, I cried after it survived. I tell you, I just feel like I'm awful lucky.
Prayed a little bit and everything's all right except for the holes in our roof, so.
It was unreal. It was nothing like I've ever seen.
What did we do to make God so mad?
This is from God. You can see he has a powerful punch.
I want to give these people the inspiration to know that this storm doesn't have the last story in their life, that there's still another chapter to be written, and it's a good chapter.
Of course, no one wants to see any of those scenes repeated, but the predictions certainly aren't ruling out another very active hurricane season this year.
I believe it's pretty certain that one storm is going to threaten Florida this year at some point. With the forecast for as many storms as there are and the steering mechanism about the same as last year, you can pretty much count on Florida being under the gun come August and September.
Storm surge, that wall of water pushed toward shore by the force of heavy winds swirling around a hurricane. Later in the show, meteorologist Scott Pageant will have more. Next on Storm Warning. Meet a Bay Area family with new respect for hurricane season. No procrastinating this year when it comes to storm supplies. Being prepared inside your home is one thing, but how much can you prepare outside? And we're all still paying for last year's damage, the rising tide of insurance premiums.
There's no way anybody can tell you whether a storm's going to come in this year or not. You can only give probabilities.
Every year, of course, all the experts sound off on their predictions for the upcoming hurricane season. This year, between the National Hurricane Conference in New Orleans, the Governor's Hurricane Conference right here in Tampa, and the Bahamas Weather Conference, we got a pretty good idea from those experts exactly what they expect Mother Nature to deliver this year. Here's WB38's Don Pellis with more on that.
Hurricane season 2004, one of the worst on record in Florida, but stronger storms may be on the way.
The damage we're going to see from them is going to go way up. There's no question about it, in my view.
We caught up with renowned Colorado State University forecaster Dr. William Gray at the Governor's Hurricane Conference in Tampa. Last month, Gray and his team predicted 13 named storms for the season, 7 hurricanes, 3 of them major storms, categories 3 to 5, an above-average season that could repeat in the coming years.
We've had these down periods, up periods, down periods. Now we're in an up period. We've been 10 years in the up period. If the future's like the past, we likely go another 15, 20 years with it being active.
As for the possibility of a 1, 2, 3 punch hitting Central Florida again,
the probability of having 3 storms come in like they did last year is small, very small. But it might happen.
Gray's advice, be prepared for the worst. In Tampa, Don Pellis, WB38 News at 10.
Despite the predictions, the latest Mason-Dixon poll shows 56% of all coastal residents still don't feel vulnerable to a hurricane. Also, 1 in 4 will do nothing to prepare, even after watches and warnings are issued. Just 2 years ago, those percentages were understandably much higher. There are very few of us who take the same lackadaisical attitude about an approaching hurricane season as perhaps we did in years past. Even if it's just preparing earlier for an evacuation, we now have a new respect for what Mother Nature can dish out. WB38 Summer Smith finds a family who has now a growing number of reasons to make preparation a priority.
We learned a lot from last year, and you thought you were prepared, but really you're not.
For the first time in the Borwick's lives,
I'm definitely nervous.
They're taking hurricane season seriously.
We went a little bit extra and made sure to do a little bit more research as to what we needed. We got some more supplies.
The Borwicks have stocked up on necessities like extra food and water, lanterns, a radio, and batteries.
I'm probably blocking it.
But they're still a little edgy.
My wife is expecting, and she's going to be expecting pretty much in the middle towards the end of hurricane seasons.
And adding to their nervousness, some supplies may not be available.
We thought we were prepared and we were going out early, but they're already running out of hurricane supplies.
Now this family is just hoping time is on their side. In Tampa, Summer Smith, WB38 News at 10.
The latest hurricane codes for construction of newer homes proved a godsend for those homeowners. We saw that firsthand in the aftermath of Hurricane Charlie. But it was Hurricane Andrew that showed the state why strapping the roof to the walls of a home and mandating impact-resistant glass can save a home and everything inside. And while our newest codes are effective, there is still much room for improvement.
Areas of concern that we've identified would be things like soffit on houses. We've looked at any kind of attachment, pool cages, installation of roof type.
Anyone living in a home that's more than 10 years old should consider hurricane resistance whenever making improvements, things like replacing roofs, windows, and doors.
Still, everything is still smooth, all the glass is still in place.
And there are now annual expos packed with vendors selling their hurricane-ready wares. Events like this one, that might have attracted a few hundred in years past, are now hosting tens of thousands of concerned homeowners ready to spend whatever is necessary to defend their property.